Really playing games with the air quality. And header down the road at Petco Park, they beat the Giants 6-0, and they've
easy 100 miles an hour, and there it is.
Yeah, a swing open for the rest of the night. The 0-2 is swung on and missed. Slider takes. Carlos Correa has been the Astros' most consistent player on both sides. Something Dusty Baker told us today he's just not used to seeing as
all 30 teams.
And I think we're seeing two at-bats.
The slider. This time a hanging slider.
His velocity record last year by...
And for the Astros in 20...
1-1 from Gratterall is served into the opposite field. When he would describe his changeup.
Martinez told me exactly that, Matt. He tried.
Yesterday, Correa is en route American League. He's been special on defense this season.
Matty, for his games played. When you're that...
2 with the runner aboard and 2 out in the first. And Brusdar Gratterall strikes out. 17. Here's how he aligns the Dodgers. Their Taco Bell started and did so very successfully over a 3. Not expect more than about 30. Mookie Betts leading off the home half of the rolls over a ground ball for Correa.
Healthy. Look at the agility for a guy.
Rookie first baseman who made a nice stretch tonight with Zach Greinke. Seager bounces it to that rookie first.
As a senior in high school. Fastball away. And you see that there's a four-seam on.
Well hit into the corner in left field, and that one is gone.
Ball, and not so good. We talked about the previous pitch.
4 last night. Good changeup, swung on a miss.
The killer bees with the Cubs.
Curveball finished up ESPN Deportes, and Spores is the new pitcher for the LA Dodgers. We're going to see, I think, more than just a quick out for Spores. Now it's Martin Maldonado. You know, I guess as you try to dock. And there's ball 4.
2009 championship team.
Astros, Abraham Toro bounces it to the right side of a big loud truck. Ball and 2 strikes. Native. Another bouncer to the right side of the infield.
Before I went into Fenway, I hit one of the longest home runs of my career.
Blaring like a house party. And here's
the baseball umpire.
Greinke, one of the best fielding pitchers, and had a pretty legit career in the ring because though he is cold right now, watching the stirring conclusion to the men's U.S. And now it's going to be a series of relievers. And that's a good one. Bregman bare hands. He won't. On the first pitch, bounces it to Toro. To second for...
And then the moving target 1. And the 6-time goal. Coming right after you, right over the top.
On the ground into the shift. For Springer now. And they're still tied 1 apiece. Just taking a 2-1 lead in the nightcap. Came to Dodger Stadium and swept 3.
The excitement level of that team, that's it.
Astros fans are hopeful. Hit hard into the left field corner.
Swing by Bregman. And if a slider comes, you're going to look for it up.
Onto the right side of the infield. Taylor on him with the third in a 1-0 game. And as then the top of the order, Benson to fly ball to right in second.
And 300 is just okay.
Bites on a Zach Greinke. I mean, it didn't start out with Mookie hitting the ground running his first week as a Kumbaya, then Gibbies back in '88 when Great change up to strikeout. 600 games as a player in this ball. Ground ball off the bat of Carlos Correa.
Yeah. And talking about Greinke, your guy, talking about
at this ballpark on such a smoke.
Kike, what for you? Well, especially for you guys, Kike, you guys.
Man, go get him. Wearing an earpiece. Carlos, good evening to you. Balls and 2 strikes to A.J. Pollock. Everybody always talks about big body. Smith sends a fly ball out to right. We're on the mound for the Dodgers, their 4th pitcher of the no fans, and they turn up that PA system. It's unreal. Swing and a miss by Abraham Toro.
I think so.
Okay. You guys have had injuries this year. Isn't much of a question. Shot into running us. I know that it's kind of hard to communicate. Going on Dusty and would have loved stories about playing as a young guy, and you're going to say, okay, the Astros deserve a fresh start. Your lead. Top.com. Check out new on-field jerseys by Los Angeles. The A.J. Pollock 2-out homer. The only score
time he came to the plate, about how close he is. Drop an average in 326 last year.
That's going to be a base hit.
The tremendous drop in power numbers on pitches.
In is also the fastballs. Last year hitting 326 on fastballs. Going back to Willie Stargell or Darryl Strawberry, it's on your mind and you're going to bail out.
Here. Taylor with an excuse me swing. A little thinner hits against Zach Greinke here have opened the 5th.
John Peterson.
I mean, if he doesn't make contact, he and his wife celebrating the birth of their 2nd child.
Now, oh,
there was the 50
in the zone, about 90 miles an hour.
Grounded to the drawn-in second baseman.
A very, very aggressive play.
But that not only does he think that sharply hit through the hole.
And that's the recourse. And there it is.
Safely in 14 of his last 16. 0-2 the count to Betts. 51 games. But since
when you're in the box against them.
To right field, Springer's back at the wall, and it's
the 0-2, little change-up 8 for the Dodgers.
At bats.
He wants that one back.
Here's Corey Seager now, who's hit
on 5 at bats.
A big part of their struggles this year. Little pop into shallow left.
Is in the 9th.
Velocity separation between his fastball and his change. Actual velocity. And then the big dipsy-do curveball.
Chained it. Good swing, head down.
One over the wall against Dodger reliever Dylan Floro and Houston.
Third baseman Alex Bregman.
And Springer, who almost.
Justin, while we have you, we want to ask you about your foundation.
See, I think that's one thing the Dodgers and you guys don't get it.
Christian Hav. Full count. Full count pitch to Will Smith. Off the end of the bat out. Dodgers got a run early on the A.J. Pollock homer.
the more he leans back. Watch right here. You see that? And he can't see that pitch. Energy going away, away, away. Ooh, there it is.
Roll B.
You see where his energy is?
Yep. Did you see Gavin Lux coming out of the dugout? And 2 strikes on Chris Taylor. Lively fastball.
So slow. This is maybe the opposite.
Houston this year, Oakland has handled him. Swing and a miss by Peterson. Nothing comes of Angeles tonight. So far, so good with the Johnny Holstaff night. Walk year this season. Fly ball in the infield for Seager.
With a veteran team like the Astros. It's a little base hit there. Lander and Bregman, from what they do physically on the field. Loaded with talent. Movement. Elbows and knees.
Dodger.
Two finish, but it got to 5-1.
Scandal, as well as one documentary.
Stretch brought to you by Jim Beam. From the pack. And this year's no different.
Dodgers, because ultimately,
Ready, 3.
to win a championship,
They need him to be at his best. He is there.
At the end of last year,
Ready,
Kenley
3.
Jansen struggled for a
they
time.
wanted to blow, unfortunately.
And Betts is caught looking at a fast. The lineup filled with past and future on homer tonight. 0-1 to Seager is into the opposite corner. And back earlier in the season, the 2-game series in Houston, album cover. And then a little farther, was remiss for missing that. Thanks for cleaning us up as always. And up a game.
They jump off the page because when you see someone do it every day, it just you never
Play at Miller Park instead of in Houston. Pollock, Muncy, and Smith down to A.J. Pollock. Numbers on Brooks this year. Pollock line.
Max Muncy.
It is. So, it won LA in the first round. And Sports Center next with John Anderson and Kevin higher than the Dodgers.
the players.
Just into the right field corner and a fair ball.
Inside out hitting here. It hits the pole the latter part of the year. Wrong bench all night long. This at bat.
Way to shallow left field for Brantley to
Want to access.
if the Dodgers knock it into left field, and that one's gonna go.
Left center field. Game time.
That ball was crushed, Alex. 3-run shot for Chris Taylor.
And Taylor with a home run. 13 RBIs. Management in Dodger Nation.
Nice stop by Toro.
Velocity. Fastball command.
That against Boston ends a drive out to left. Surprised when Doc Roberts told. They've got Blake Trinan, who's closed at a high level. 2-2. And a swing and a miss to the night. They scored early on the Pollock homer. Back up the middle. Dodgers win their major league lead. And Kevin Connors next week.